Happy Monday. Hello, friends. I hope y'all are doing well. I have a pretty busy week ahead of me, basically just because I'm going to be trying to reopen my shop this coming weekend. And so I basically have to do all the very boring menial tasks that come along with that, like counting how many of each sticker that I have and making sure that I have enough paper bags and envelopes and things. I also need to do some revamping to my website. But currently I am facing the nightmare that is the United States healthcare system because I turned 26 in 2 weeks, meaning that I will be losing, I'll no longer be able to be on my parents' health insurance. And so I'm just desperately trying to figure this out. It's so confusing and upsetting, and I already had a cry about it. So that's what I'm slogging through this morning. And then I'm going to record my Patreon podcast, and then I'm actually going to go through all my shelves and count all my stickers and things. So hopefully nothing. It's going to be a bit boring, but join me on this journey, I suppose. Hello, I'm just popping in with a little voiceover here because when I was editing this, I realized that I had about 30 minutes worth of footage of me just like sorting through my bookshelves, because I didn't end up doing all the sticker inventory counting I wanted to do. I did go through and reorder, like figure out how many mailers and paper bags and little like packaging things I needed to reorder. But I realized in going through my notebooks and my notepads and kind of my like stationery products, I was like, oh, I need to package these before my shop opens, because I put them in a little like compostable plastic sleeve with a little compostable sticker on it just to make it look polished and nice. And I was like, I have to do all this before my shop opens, so that way I don't have to stop in the middle of packing orders to do it. This also gave me a chance to sort of rearrange things, figure out what was going on. I didn't quite spend my time like I was expecting, but it was still very valuable. I also wanted to take this moment to say a very big thank you to Skillshare for sponsoring this video. Skillshare is an online learning platform with thousands upon thousands of classes covering pretty much everything you could ever want to learn, from like illustration to productivity, embroidery, time management, Illustrator, like Adobe Illustrator, Adobe Premiere Pro, Procreate. They have like a lot of classes dedicated specifically to how to use Procreate, which is really cool. I've actually been really keen on taking Andy J. Pizza's class on creative side quests. Andy is one of my favorite podcasters. He does the podcast Creative Pep Talk, and I was very excited to see he had a Skillshare class, so I'm really excited about taking that. If you have been looking for ways to fill your time, find a fun new creative escape, or what have you, Skillshare is an amazing place to do so. The classes are a combination of video lessons along with a class project, so you have an end goal in sight and you can work through the class at whatever pace works for you. The first 1,000 people to click the link in the description will get a 2-month free trial of a premium membership so you can explore your creativity as well. And then after that, it's actually less than $10 a month if you end up going with an annual subscription. So thank you so much, Skillshare, again, for sponsoring this video. Go forth and make things. And I will go forth and basically just spend the rest of my Monday, I just did this. I just like moved things around in cubbies and put notebooks in plastic sleeves. It's pretty much the long and short of it. Being a business owner isn't always glamorous. A lot of it is actually quite boring and mundane, believe it or not. I realized once I was actually going through all my shelves, I haven't even counted my stickers yet, but I was basically figuring out how many more like mailers I need to order. Also, can I just say, I'm feeling significantly better than I was this morning when I started this vlog, because healthcare is a nightmare, and I said that I had to cry. I had like a panic attack, because it's so stressful and full of such frustrating jargon on purpose to make it complicated to just wring more money out of people. Healthcare doesn't have to be this expensive and difficult, but you know, the United States just decided that it should be because, okay. Woo, that's a topic for a different video. A video I'll probably never make. But yeah, so I was going through and looking at like how many mailers I needed to order and all these things. I haven't even counted all my sticker sheets yet. But I realized that I need to package all my product. And because I don't have Zoe here, because I'm working alone for the time being, and like, essentially we're not able to tag team this process, I basically just need to spend the week putting all my little things in their respective little packaging and wrapping them up and sticking them off with stickers and stuff, because this really streamlined my actual order packing process, because then I don't have to stop in the middle of packing orders to package more notebooks or more memo pads or more what have you. Since I've been expanding my product range outside of just sticker sheets, I've been wanting to also play around with packaging more that's also in an eco-friendly way. So glassine bags are great and they're awesome, but you know, they don't necessarily give that nice kind of opaque look, or not opaque, that sort of clear look that you want for certain stationery packaging. So like, these are compostable plastic sleeves, and I use compostable stickers on them. I know that the bags are home compostable. I believe that the stickers are too. They're also biodegradable. And so I'm hoping that, you know, when put in a composting facility or in a home composting thing, they will degrade as they are wont to do. Just because, this is me thinking out loud here about like future business things, just because composting is a little bit wishy-washy, I find, especially for a lot of folks in the United States, because I know a lot of cities in the States don't have commercial composting facilities, and I also know that like not everyone has room for a home composting bin. So I know that recycling is a much more kind of accessible sustainability choice, if that makes sense. So once I have so many of these compostable plastic bags that I'm going to get through, but once I get through them, I'll probably just go back to putting everything in a glassine bag, or even just like straight up paper bags, just to make it easier for folks to recycle. It may not like look as polished as I want it to, but I would rather compromise the like polishedness of my product than compromise on the sustainability, if that makes sense. So I'd rather like I like finding creative ways to make sustainable packaging that's maybe not aesthetically exactly what I want. I like the challenge of making it exactly what I want. These are the things that I think about all the time. I haven't thought about them for so long because my shop's been closed for 2 months. So it's nice to be thinking about these things again, and kind of being back in this brain space makes me feel very normal, and makes me feel like I'm kind of getting back into the standard swing of things, which is very exciting. Also, I am indeed wearing a Persona shirt. My friend Audley got this for me 2 birthdays ago or 2 Christmases ago, but I love it so much. I've been playing so much Persona 5, y'all. Oh my god. One of these days I need to make a video just talking about my favorite video games, because I love video games. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm gonna get back to packaging these little bad boys, and I'll talk to you soon. Hi, good afternoon. It's Tuesday. It's just about 1 p.m. Sorry that I haven't talked to you earlier today. I've been drawing a bit. It's not good. It's a bad art day, which is very frustrating and makes me feel all dejected and stuff. And I would like it to not be a bad art day, because I remembered yesterday that I need to draw some printables and downloads for my shop for my reopening, since I'm not going to be shipping internationally for the next couple months, just until sort of international postal systems kind of settle down a little bit, because everything's a bit wild. I mean, even the United States postal system is like a bit everything's just late and delayed, and I don't want to risk losing a bunch of product by sending stuff overseas that then just gets sort of lost in the ether. So I'm going to not be shipping internationally for a couple months until things settle down, but in the meantime I am going to be offering some like printables and downloads on my shop to help sort of so that my international customers aren't totally left in the dust, because I love you guys and I know this is very inconvenient and annoying, but I want to make sure you have some fun, cute things to use. I need to work on that, but again, today is such a shit art day and I'm all dejected about it. So today might be another like boring packing admin day. I know, I'm sorry, I'm so tired. It took me like 2 hours to fall asleep last night. I've had so much trouble sleeping lately. But Connor and I are gonna be going grocery shopping later today, and woo! And Connor also just did a talk on Patreon, which went so well. He did a Patreon workshop about like creating a value-driven business plan, and it went so well. It's actually archived on Patreon's website, right?
Crowdcast.
It's archived on Crowdcast. I'm gonna leave a link to it in the description if you wanna take a look at it. He's doing a happy dance. But yeah, so I'm not wearing makeup today, so I'm sorry if I look I feel ragged, so if I look ragged, that's why. Oh my god, I'm so tired. So gonna try and draw, gonna probably just end up doing some boring packaging things. The week before my shop opens is usually pretty stressful, but also pretty boring, because I'm basically just trying to scrounge a lot of stuff together, take care of last minute things. I did order my like packaging that I needed to order this morning, so that's good. But yeah, it's Tuesday. They didn't have the chips you usually get, so I went with a different brand. Hi! Hello! Hello. Did you mean to do this on camera?
Yeah.
Did you make a hole in there?
I think so, no wait.
Oh shit. Yes.
I think my new phase is sales.
Yeah. Not a bad place to be, methinks.
Not a bad place to be, indeed.
So, Connor's fixing dinner. This always happens before I reopen my shop because I guess it's just the way I work. I always get overwhelmed and I always get stressed and I always get like preemptively, like, I don't know, run down before my shop even reopens. So actually, I'm gonna fix this can. This is not good framing. There we go. Again, I know I use this angle all the time, but what can you do when your desk is in a corner? Anyway, I always tend to get very overwhelmed and very stressed whenever my shop reopens because I'm very lucky and then I tend to get a lot of orders, but since I'm going to be working by myself, it means that like it can sometimes get a little bit stressful, and I'm taking measures this time to help hopefully curb that stress. Number one being pretty much just raising my prices because it's getting to a point now where, I mean, it's been at a point now where the like 1 or 2 person operation that my business is simply cannot sustain the number of orders that I get, which is a wonderful problem to have. But that's a step that I'm taking to maybe make the orders that do come through a little more manageable, because I do love packing orders, but when you get to like day 3 of packing orders for like 6 to 8 hours a day, it gets it's a little much. So I want to keep this process fun and awesome and lovely because I love owning an online store and I love making products and I love packaging them and sending them out to y'all. So I want to make sure I can keep doing that. That being said, the week before my shop opens, especially since, you know, I haven't had it now for 2 months and I'm making quite a few changes. Not too many changes, some changes. I'm like very stressed and overwhelmed. And so what I like to do is basically journal a little bit and then essentially write out a very detailed list of every single thing I need to do, from like changing prices to changing product photo to like updating graphics. Like every small, mundane, tiny thing that needs to get done, I write it down. Because if I don't write it down, I'll probably forget it. And then like the morning of my shop update, I'll be like, oh shit, and then I have to scramble. And we don't want to scramble. So I'm almost done writing my list. It's all very doable. The main thing is just creating some like printables and digital download stuff. And like I said, today was a bit of a shit creative day, so I'm hoping that the rest of the week proves otherwise. But we'll see. I'm gonna make this list, tidy up a bit. Connor and I are gonna have dinner, and then I wish you could. I'm not gonna put him on camera, but I wish you could see him.
I should put on a shirt.
He's just lounging on the couch in his skinny jeans, no shirt, just like straight vibing. So
I'm so cool sometimes.
You're very cool. What are you talking about, honey? He just got back from a walk and it's warm outside, so I don't blame him. This week is gonna be fine. I had a little bit of a grumpy nap this afternoon, which helped. Sometimes you just gotta be grumpy for a bit.
Absolutely. Feel what you gotta feel.
You gotta feel your feelings. You gotta let them be what they are.
Real talk, Cheyenne. Sometimes she gets, you know, upset and she screams into a pillow and keeps going.
I do. Because sometimes that's what you... Have you, like, it's... Screaming into a pillow is underrated. It's so helpful.
Every single time.
I know, and I think a lot of that comes from my theater background, because in voice classes, what we would do is like, when we were like, because we would use a foam roller to like roll out different parts of our body to like release tension, and when releasing that tension, we would also release sound. So it was basically a room of 19-year-olds all rolling out their IT bands going, ah. And from that class, I learned that like releasing sound is such a helpful way to relieve stress. So sometimes you just gotta scream into a pillow, because I don't think my neighbors would appreciate me just sort of loudly groaning and sighing.
For me, it's
yeah, that's
no good.
We all you just gotta let it out.
We're weird.
We're weird. I think we're great. IMO. Feeling better than I was earlier today. And Yeah, there's a couple things on this list that I'm forgetting, but I'm gonna remember them. Oh my gosh. I'll see you tomorrow. I love you. Hi, good morning. Or no, it's not, well, no, it is still morning. It's 11:15. I was about to say, I was like, am I getting at Happy Wednesday. Hi. So I've spent some time this morning drawing and journaling a little bit, just trying to figure out what my game plan is for the day, and ideally what I need to spend today doing is drawing, because I need to be working on my printables. But I am so anxious today. Which probably means that my period is coming tomorrow or the day after. And I've also been feeling so shit about my art the past 2 days. And so I tried to do some like doodle warm-ups on Instagram, which was fun and helped a little bit. I did like a bunch of little doodle requests. It's just like, I like, everything that I draw, I look at right now and I just think it's gross and weird. And then I'm trying to, which is hard when you're like kind of on a drawing deadline. So I don't know what to do, essentially. I probably just need to keep drawing and figure it out. Just draw things that I like. I'm even drawing things that I like, and I'm just not happy with how any of it is turning out. So the thing about, like, I want to make these printables, and I'm like, what kind of theme do I want them to have? Oh, my camera's about to die anyway. It's Wednesday, and we are driving the struggle bus, my friends. Oh, hello. Fancy meeting you here. So I have spent the afternoon drawing. I was able to draw my way out of the slump that I was in, which feels really good. Because I think that's the hardest part of kind of getting out of an art block is when you kind of just have to muddle your way through. It's very frustrating, but I'm glad that I was able to muddle my way through. I've sketched up one of my printables now, which feels great. I am gonna take a break because I've been drawing for like 5 hours. So I'm a little exhausted. So I'm gonna take a little bit of a break now. I might play a little Persona. I'm gonna set a timer, but like I might play a little Persona and then get to working on my other printables. So I want to turn these little sort of flower vignettes. I think they would make really great phone backgrounds, and so I think that I'll probably do like a little flower vignette phone background pack, and then I want to do some other kind of phone backgrounds that are like character based. I did some really cute witch ones a while ago, and so I might do some like little gnome-ish ones with my little gnome character that I love so much. So I'm thinking about doing that. And then for my other two printables, they're probably like, the problem is that when I do like sticker type printables, because I draw really small and I know that the small shapes are really tricky for people to cut out. And so I'm trying to think of, so that's why I was thinking these like sort of floral vignettes are great because they're very easy for people to cut out. And so I'm thinking about what I want to do for my other printables, if I want to make them kind of like stationery based or like planner based, or if I just want to make them cute and stickery. So I'm going to take a break and think on that, and then revisit this in a spell. But it feels really good to have at least one of my like 2 or 3 printables done. So, and now, you know, I have my ideas for my phone backgrounds, for my like digital downloads that I'm gonna do. So, feeling good. Hello. Sorry if you can hear my fan going. It's very warm in the apartment today, which is why I'm literally just wearing a sports bra and shorts. But we are at the end of Thursday, and I had a not great day. I had a small panic in the middle of it just because I was working on some more printable stuff today, and I was having lots of like ideas and things, and I was getting really stressed about having to get everything ready for my Sunday opening. And so I made the decision to push it back just a couple of days just to give me a chance to like really work on all the things I want to work on and not like have to rush them and make them shitty, and also not feel bad about putting out like half-assed products. So I feel bad that I'm pushing it back a couple days, but it's only a couple days. And like, since everyone's home right now anyway, most everyone's home. You really have to worry about people being like away at school and stuff, and or work and things, and so hopefully a midweek launch will be okay for folks. And the great thing about printables is that they don't sell out. I'm really excited. I worked on these cute little like pen pal pages that I really like. I'm probably gonna go ahead and turn them into like notepads at some point down the line. But I'm really happy with how they turned out. I think they're so cute. I think they're so precious. I'm excited to see how they go over. I'm thinking about what else to include in like my little pen pal printable set. I might do like some little washi tape things, maybe like a little patterned envelope that people can cut out. I'm not sure. I'm thinking about it. I'm even thinking about maybe just designing more little sheets, but I really like these too. And then I might do, yeah, so I'm brainstorming and I'm thinking about it, but I'm happy with how everything's turning out so far. I'm going to leave you now. I love you so much. I think you're wonderful. Thank you again to Skillshare for sponsoring this video. Again, click the link in the description if you're interested in trying out Skillshare Premium. I want to say thank you to my patrons. You guys are so wonderful and I love you so much. I've been posting some more kind of like in-depth things, like process things over there, and it's been fun to kind of get to like document my process in a little more detail. So thank you patrons for being here. You guys are rad. I love you so much. I hope you're well. And thank you so much for watching this video. I'm so honored that you're here. I'm honored that you chose to spend this little bit of time with me. I hope you're doing all right. I hope that you're staying sane and safe and all those things. I love you so much. I think the world of you. I'm going to drink some more tea, do a little bit more fiddling, and then my plan for the evening is to just play Persona 5. I just started dating An and Takemi because, so in Persona you can date all the girls, but then there's like, you can date multiple girls at once, and I usually don't do that because I'm so loyal to Makoto, and I like Makoto, and I like don't want to hurt her feelings, but this is my third time playing this game, and so I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna date all the cute girls so that I can see all the cutscenes. So I'm excited that now I'm dating the hot doctor and An, and should be dating Makoto soon, and then Hifumi, and I'm just very excited. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you're well. I love you to bits. I'll talk to you soon. Stay brilliant. Bye!